by.
What is up, YouTube? This is Nanashi with a brand new deck profile video. This time I'll be going back and showing you the changes and updates to my fish deck, which has been an all-water deck. Fish hasn't been seen very much in today's game, and that's because they really don't have a tremendous number of power plays. However, as of recently, we've been getting a lot of unusual fish support, but also just a lot of people going back and seeing that certain fish cards were a lot better than people thought they were. So I've taken some of these little tidbits of information and built a deck that I think shows off just how powerful fish can really be. Let's see where this goes. Starting with the monster lineup, we have a playset of Mermaid Shark. When it's normal summon, you can add a level 3, 4, or 5 fish-type monster from your deck to your hand. This actually sets off a lot of the resource plays that this deck has available to it, and it makes for a very consistent means of getting your self-summoners to your hand. Then we also have a playset of shark stickers. If you normal summon or special summon a fish, sea serpent, or aqua monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. It's not once per turn, and it does apply to itself. So it does give you the ability to chain into multiple copies, and if you happen to have 3, that's actually not a bad start, especially with link format being a thing. We also have a playset of double fin shark. When it's normal summoned, you can target a level 3 or lower water fish-type monster in your grave and special summon it with its effects negated. And you can only summon water monsters the turn you'd use this effect, which is fine, that's all this deck is. There's also the triple royal swamp eel, the only tuner in the deck right now. If you use this card for synchro material, you have to use fish for the other materials, which is fine, the main deck is nothing but fish. Also, I'm short 1 copy, but I have somebody getting it for me. Triple Silent Angler. This card is good in the right circumstance. If you control a water monster, you can special summon it from your hand, but you cannot special summon monsters from your hand for the rest of the turn, which is generally how this deck operates, so you want to make sure this is the last special summon you play from your hand, if at all possible. Triple Wind-Up Shark. I just like this card in this deck. If you normal summon or special summon a wind-up monster, which would obviously be him, you can special summon him from your hand, and he has the ability to adjust his level up or down by 1 every single turn, which does help you get into lower level Xyz plays, of which there's very few, but they are there. Triple Xyz Remora. I don't know how I overlooked it. It has such an amazing effect. You detach 2 materials from Xyz monsters you control, you special summon it from your hand, and then you can special summon 2 level 4 water fish from your graveyard with their effects negated. This sets up tremendous plays, and I feel stupid that I overlooked this card, I'm just going to be honest. And of course, no fish deck, in my personal opinion, would ever be complete without a triple Super Ancient Deep Sea King Coelacanth. You can discard a card to special summon as many fish-type monsters from your deck, level 4 or lower, but they cannot attack and their effects are negated. And if your Coelacanth would be targeted by a card effect, you contribute another fish you control to negate that effect. Moving right along into the spell cards, we have Single Dark Hole, staple in pretty much every deck I run. Triple Instant Fusion. Special summon a level 5 or lower fusion monster from your extra deck, can't attack, and it destroys itself during the end of the turn, all for the cost of 1,000 points. It kickstarts a lot of my spam combos. Triple Moray of Greed. I'm not a huge fan of this spell card, specifically in this version of the deck, but it does help me cut down on some of my bad hands. You take 2 water monsters in your hand, put them back in your deck, and draw 3 cards, which means you actually replace this spell card in addition to everything else. 1 copy of Rank Up Magic's 7th one. Yes, I'm only running 1 in this particular deck because, well, I have a way to sack it now. It allows you to take an Xyz monster whose number is between 101 and 107, summon it from the extra deck or graveyard, and then Xyz summon its Chaos form right on top of it. Triple Salvage, which lets you add back any 2 water monsters with an attack of 1500 or less from your graveyard to your hand. Great resource recoup, it's pretty much seen in every water deck. And double Twin Twisters. I'm not a huge fan of Twin Twisters in this deck, purely because I don't like discarding my material too much. But at the same time, we are missing a specific fish-type monster that's currently an OCG exclusive last time I checked, so I need to discard in whatever method that is available to me. And for right now, our trap lineup is the stable set of Bottomless Trap Hole, Solemn Warning, and Torrential Tribute. Next we move into the side deck. Starting off, we have a play set of Beautiful Princess. I love using this card, but not in this particular variant of the deck. When it's normal summoned, you can special summon any level 4 or lower fish monster from your deck by banishing itself, but you can only use its effect once per turn. It's a good card, it's just right now it's not as good as I'd like it to be. The only real card I would use it on in this current build is Wind-Up Shark. Everything else I prefer to get out of the hand. And speaking of cards from the hand, Hammer Shark is a perfect component to go with Beautiful Princess, because once per turn you can reduce its level by 1 to special summon a level 3 or lower water monster from your hand, which actually triggers the effect of Beautiful Princess. And that level reduction is permanent, which is the reason he's in the side as well, because I want my monsters to stay level 4. That's also why I moved Gungnir, Dragon of the Ice Barrier, into the side deck for the moment. He's a good card. You can discard a card from your up to 2 cards from your hand, actually, once per turn to destroy the same number of cards by targeting them. But right now, level 7 synchros are not exactly easy for me to access. It's not impossible, it's just not easy. I also have a Brain Control, 2 MST in case I need more destruction, Compulsory, Double Fiendish Chain, and Mirror Force. And now we finish up with the extra deck. Starting off, we have a pair of Rare Fish. It's a good 4-star special summoning target thanks to the effect of Instant Fusion. Triple White Aura Whale. It requires a water tuner and a non-tuner water, which is fine, that's easy for my deck to pull off. When it's synchro summoned, you get to destroy all attack position monsters your opponent controls. It can attack twice during the same battle phase. If it attacks a defense position monster, it does piercing, and if it were destroyed and sent to the graveyard by your opponent, you can banish any water monster from your graveyard to special summon it back as a tuner for whatever reason. I'm guessing that's because of the White Aura archetype's gimmick. And now we move right into the Xyz combos. We have 1 Nightmare Shark. When it's special summoned, you have the ability to attach a level 3 or lower water monster from your hand or field to it as material, or you can detach a material from it to target a monster you control, an Xyz monster specifically, and it can attack your opponent directly this turn, but no other monster can attack. It's great for finishing moves if you have to go around your monsters, but I don't like using it for that specific reason. It's more just a rank up target, and I'll show you what I mean later. Another target that I use very similarly to him is actually the Rebarian Shark, a recent card that we received. You can target a number of Xyz in your graveyard, special summon it, and give it a material that was on this card. Now the important effect though is what comes after. If this card goes to the graveyard, you can stack any rank up magic spell from your deck on top of your deck. I also run 1 Bahamut Shark to pull both the Nightmare and the Rebarian. You can detach a material to special summon a rank 3 or lower water Xyz monster, and no, I am not using Totally Awesome in this deck. It does not work with the way that I want this deck to operate. I also have 1 Abyss Dweller, a fun little tech card that honestly irritates a lot of players. While it has material, all your water monsters gain 500 attack points, and once per turn during either player's turn, you can detach a material from it. All your opponent's graveyard effects that activate in the graveyard are negated. They cannot go off. Then we have a very special tech monster to me, Full Armored Black Ray Lancer. You can stack it on top of a rank 3 Xyz monster that has no materials. Or you can summon it legitimately with 3 level 4s, which I don't like to do. It gains 200 attack per material. If it destroys a monster in battle, it can destroy a spell trap your opponent controls, and if it would be destroyed, you can detach all materials attached to it to keep it from being destroyed. And of course, losing all the materials means that if you happen to use Rebarian Shark to stack it with, you automatically get to stack 7th one on top of your deck. We also have 1 copy of Hope Woven Dragon Spider Shark. During either player's battle phase, if you or your opponent were to attack with a monster, you can attach material from it. All opponent's monsters lose 1,000 attack until the end of the turn. And if this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon any other monster in your graveyard. And then we have the final pair of Xyz monsters. 101, Silent Honor Arc. You can double detach to target an opponent's attack position special summon monster and attach it to this card as Xyz material. And if this card would be destroyed, you can detach a material from it to save it. And also Silent Honor Dark. Ironically, I have one way to actually summon this card from my extra deck legitimately, but I prefer to do 7th one. Once per turn, you can target a special summon monster your opponent controls and attach it to this card's Xyz material. And if this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, while it has Xyz material, you can special summon it back and gain life points equal to its attack points. But if you do that, you cannot battle with it during this turn. And finally, the card I've been waiting for, Double Mistarboy. Link 2 Water Monster, requires 2 waters, gives you the bottom left and bottom right link zones. All water monsters gain 500 attack and defense, all fire monsters lose 400 attack and defense, and if this card's destroyed either by battle or card effect, you get to add any water monster in your grave back to your hand, so it's immediate recoup. And that's the deck. The deck is a bit, what's the right word I'm looking for here, straightforward in its mechanics. The monsters that it summons from the main deck are essentially just fodder, except for Coelacanth, which can definitely hold its own. I'm also missing an important component to this deck, which just happens to be another piece of the White Aura archetype called White Stingray, which right now is an OCG exclusive, so until we get this, I don't feel like this deck's going to technically be completed. But I'm going to keep working with the recipe until I can get it to work right, until we get that White Stingray. And when we do, I'll, I don't know, put it at 3 and take out the Moria of Greeds, maybe? But I'll let you know when I figure it out. I thank you guys for watching this deck profile, and if you can think of any way that I can improve this all-fish, all-water deck, feel free to let me know. In the meantime, this has been Nanashi, signing out.
What's the next stage? What's the next stage?